It's 8 a.m. at the Salt Lake Center for Science Education. Julian Kennicott's day is off to a chilly start. This sensor is part of his science fair project. He's measuring particulate matter in the air linked to idling.
So this is a good place to do this study because of the pickup and drop-off times. Those are when people are going to be idling the most. They're going to be waiting.
So-called PM, or particle pollution, is a big issue in Salt Lake City. What looks like haze is actually tiny particles in the air that are so small you can breathe them in. Shay Wickelson is Julian's chemistry teacher.
The majority of it is from cars and trucks. For kids growing up in Salt Lake, it's a part of their lives. We end up getting inversions, and the cold air gets trapped down here in the valley, and you end up getting these pollution events.
Chemical engineer Kerry Kelly with the University of Utah and a team want to help residents, especially students, understand what this pollution problem is all about. With support from the National Science Foundation, they are partnering with citizen scientists to build up a network of air quality sensors all over the area. They call it AirU.
We have sensors up at schools. We have sensors in the homes of students. We have sensors out at other community locations. And we try to get a good distribution in terms of elevation, in terms of different types of land use, and different types of socioeconomic levels. So we are looking at our sensor network here.
The goal is to monitor for particulate matter pollution and make the data available to everyone in a real-time, easy-to-understand format.
So each one of those dots corresponds to one of the sensors in our network.
Remember that sensor from Julian's science project? He got it from the AirU team.
I would recommend putting your sensor together before you wire it.
They were visiting at the school that very same day to lead a crash course on sensors.
One of the big goals of the LEGO teaching module is to kind of demystify that black box of a sensor. To literally open it up and see how it works, put the pieces together. If their first design doesn't work, go through, analyze it, and redesign it, and put it back together until it works. By the time they're done with that module, they know exactly what's going on in the research center that we leave at their school or at their homes.
Many of the instructors are undergraduates. They assemble and test the sensors back at the lab too. Some, like freshman Katrina Lee, started as a high school intern. She helped develop the LEGO module.
We started off with another idea where we were trying to use Tic Tac boxes instead of the Legos, but then we thought the Legos would be a wonderful idea to just engage the students.
For me, as an older professor, to go into a high school and try to figure out what they understand and what they care about is not very effective. But for me to work hand in hand with high school interns, that is invaluable.
Particle pollution is mostly a problem in the winter for the Salt Lake City area, but it turns up during other times of the year as well. These are sensor readings recorded on the 4th of July as fireworks were going off. And this is a wildfire.
And these sensors on the easternmost boundary of our network detected this peak in particulate matter about 2.5 hours before the state monitoring station reports it. So these types of things could be very important for sensitive individuals and to serve as an early warning.
For Kelly, this is about nurturing science literacy at the grassroots level.
Here in Utah and many places throughout the country, air quality is a really pressing problem. And if we're going to make good decisions about air quality, we need to educate the next generation of decision makers.
It could be a curve.
For Shay Wickelson, it's a tool to help train her students to think like scientists and engineers.
Well, what they really need are skills to create things, being able to revise things, and being able to analyze data. And I think that that's the real gift of this engineering project, is the opportunity to make things, but also the opportunity to problem solve using real data.
Bringing citizen scientists together to better understand air quality and engineer solutions for a cleaner future. For Science Nation, I'm Miles O'Brien.